Should be here. Should be live. Should be live right now. Yep, it's 9 a.m. here in Los Angeles. And it's Thursday. No, it's Wednesday, not Thursday. Pardon me. Pardon my confusion. I think that's a little bit better. It's a little faded or something. I'm not sure, but it's cool. Whatever. Yeah, this is I put the one I wanted. Yeah. I think that's improved from yesterday anyway, for sure. But anyway, it's the 29th of October, AD 2025. I'm live on YouTube. What's up, everybody? Walking Roscoe, Fish, Brandy, Cloud, Pops. Not sure. 007. What is that, me? Pinocchio's helicopter. Pinocchio. We're gonna have a fun, loosey-goosey, the Hake Report.com/show. Thank you to Buddy. Well, thank you to what's his name for rating the stream past the Chatelet. Age of Inversion, Buddy 1205, Peace in the Puzzle. All right, so should I just ban that person too? Just whatever. Doesn't matter. Anyway, it's the snake pit. It's the snake pit. The snake's in the chat. We are going to have a Punchy TV today. So make sure that you do catch Punchy TV. And the views expressed here on Hake and on Punchy and everywhere, right, don't represent those of Bond, of JLP, of even Hake, or even Punchy. All right? So it's not a big deal. Just relax. Take everything that you hear, think, see, hey, nice, with a grain of salt. Pardon me, I forgot that I had unmuted that. Because you don't know, but you think you know, but you don't. So relax. People are like so crazy. It's ridiculous. I saw this competitor, a couple of competitors of mine in an interview, and they had an interview with each other, or they talked with each other. And pardon that extra noise. And somebody was like, to the effect of disgraceful. That's disgraceful or something like that. I'm like, that's not disgraceful. You're the hater. You know? And so what if they hate you? You hate too. And whatever. You're being silly. I saw this Reddit bro post. Oh, forget all Trump supporters. All of Trump voters, they're racist and fascist, or something ridiculous like that, of course, right? And everybody was agreeing with him. At least all the people in the comments, right? Yeah, I go on Reddit sometimes, right? I repent, but they don't know. They don't know what they're talking about. They're just being self-righteous. They think that they know, and they don't know. That's what happens. I was thinking about some of my callers who've moved on, who've graduated, whatever. They don't know, but they think they know, and then if I argue with them, that just makes them dig in more, and it's dumb. It's silly. It's ridiculous. So what's up, Bethany? Should be live on punchy.tv. Do you like my shirt? I like it. So anyway, I'll take your calls if you'd like to call in. 1-888-775-3773. That is 888-77-JESSE. Court, what type of bird is that? That's not the biggest big bird I've ever seen. I disclaim Big Bird. Big Bird is a liberal. But that's really something. Here, take away the Hake thing. Is it an egret? I don't think it's an egret. Is it a cormorant? Cormorant? I don't know. But that's down in San Onofre, California. Just south of San Clemente. Just barely north of, or even in, the Marine Corps base down there, Camp Pendleton. Pretty bird, pretty bird. So I have something on my mouth? Anyway, guys, let's just get right on with the show.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh,
What did I
it's the
do?
Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
Hey guys!
Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
So, how you guys doing? I am fine. And you are hearing the beautiful sound of the crashing waves. Or they're hardly crashing, they're just kind of rolling waves. Nice. If we mosey on over to the HakeReport.com, and I think we shall, news from a Christian, quote-unquote, alpha male viewpoint. As I said, Hake does not represent Hake, JLP, or Bond. No endorsement implied. Also, info may be false, okay? But I wanted to cover this one thing that I noticed. I was perusing the internet. And cover your eyes, kids, because Zohran Mamdani went on a competitor's show. And then I'll get to your calls and your super chats. I think it may have come in. Pardon me. That it feels like my... What's going on? This trackpad, my fingers greasy. Mamdani killed it. When in the 90s, when you said killed it, that means that you killed the joke. You killed the joy. It was not a good thing. But nowadays, when they say killed it, that means they did a great job. They just did a great job. You know. Anyway, so he appeared on some podcast, right? Here, let me just show you just a hint of it. So that's a competitor's show with a bunch of people, him in a suit, wearing a suit. Communist putting on a suit. And I recognize this guy. I feel like I've seen this guy before. I think I showed this guy earlier this week or last week. He was talking to that black guy, Charlemagne the God, talking about, oh, tax the wealthy, something ridiculous, right? I think Scott Adams showed it. I must have shown it last week. And if you read, cover your eyes, kids, don't read the edit. I think he cusses in the edit. He might not cuss up here. I haven't seen this talked about much, says this person in a competitor's subreddit. Destiny. I thought it was great, said this person. The dude, meaning Zohran Mamdani, the guy, the socialist Muslim, Uganda, India, whatever the guy running for mayor, met his girlfriend on the dating app. He is a good hang and was able to communicate his views clearly and address some surprisingly good questions from the hosts. Dems need to realize these aren't right-wingers, meaning these podcast bros. They're just dudes cover your eyes, kids, talking mess. He says something else. Go in with your message prepared and don't be afraid to let loose and have fun. Everybody talks about how important vibes are now, so go in with a good vibe, he says. I guess I'm going to go ahead and read the edit because their edit is funny. But cover your eyes, kids. Don't read the screen. Edit, this is why we won't win. You guys are all more focused on talking about the podcast bros being slimy MAGA regards. And they say regards instead of Ray. People who are slow. Crazy, huh? Liberal Reddit. And they're saying regarded instead of retard. Did. Terrible, huh? rather than appreciating a Democrat doing exactly what this sub was saying Democrats should do about going into hostile media and getting their message out. He literally got Schultz. I guess Schultz is I'm quite sure Schultz is the guy, the host, the guy who I said we had Charlemagne the God on, saying tax the wealthy, ridiculous. To say he thinks, this is the part that I wanted to point out, housing is a human right. It doesn't flippin' matter if he means it or not. People will hopefully hear that and subconsciously be more open to other points of view, meaning communism. Just flippin' take the W, guys. And then he takes our Lord's name in vain. Jesus, Christ, that's not Jesus' middle name. So, anyway, so I shared that on my r/Hake, by the way, on Reddit. So he killed it. And maybe we can play just the teaser, because it'll open with a teaser, right? Don't some of these podcasts open with a teaser? Let's find out.
You should have come through. We're at Maharaja Suites in Jackson Heights.
Hey, dude.
Giving number Thai.
I would love to.
All right. Next time I'll let you know.
I'm going to get your number because you're
I don't know. This is boring. Never mind. I thought they were going to say something fun. They're just pretending to be friendly. Oh, come over. I'm like, yeah. I'll come over. Really, you're holding your fingers together because you don't feel like coming over and hanging out. Please. Unless you can get some type of benefit out of it. You know what I mean? People. Oh, yeah. I'll be there. Psych. So silly. But housing is not a human right. It's ridiculous. That's like saying water or healthcare is a human right, and it's not. It's a need. And you're supposed to, the Lord shall take care of all of your needs according to the Christians, and the Christians are kind of right, and then you're supposed to take care of your own self. If the government can take care of your needs, the government has control over you, and that's what they want. And it's a mama thing. Oh, yeah. It's a mama thing, anyway, to be taking care of the poor. I saw on the internet they were talking about, on X, right? They're talking about the food stamp stuff, right? You know how the food stamps? They are saying, oh, give them bone broth, rice, and maybe potatoes, but maybe not potatoes. Beans. And a crock pot maybe. And that's all they get for the food stamps thing. They don't get to buy chips. They don't get to buy Doritos. They don't get to buy soda. They don't get to buy Subway. For the price of a Subway sandwich, you could actually get 3 meals if you get the plain cheap basic ingredients from the grocery store. So don't talk to me about these groceries being all expensive unless that's all you're already getting. So please, give me a break. And then some black guy quote tweeted Cernovich, who grew up poor, according to him, so-called. They want to give our people rice, beans, and bone broth, or something like that. Forget these people. And I'm like, you're complaining about being given something. Beggars can't be choosy. Beggars can't be choosers. Beggars can't be choicey. Whatever the line is supposed to be. I was raised with the choosers, but choosy, choicey. What a mess. The food stamps question, right? It's kind of fun that food stamps is now arisen to the consciousness of the people, and you realize how evil the people are. It's kind of like during the China virus, the dumb, blind, brainwashed, asleep people realized, oh my gosh, my kid's getting brainwashed. We're seeing these Zoom things in which these teachers are teaching them about this fake thing called racism and mess like that. And the so-called racism examples that these teachers have are ridiculous. They're worse than ever, perhaps. Ridiculous. Water and health care, a human right. Please, give me a break. Anyway, let me get to Terry in Oregon, who's on the line over here. Terry, thank you for calling and holding. How you doing?
Oh, I'm well. How are you, Hake?
I'm well as well. Thank you.
You got your Birds of Paradise shirt on?
Yeah, I have. I guess that's what they
Rad.
are. Yeah, it looks like pretty much what they are.
Rad.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I called in to talk with you about Sabbath keeping.
Nice.
And I know back in the day, I remember you telling me in chat that you keep Saturday as your Sabbath.
Yeah, I did say that, huh?
Yeah, I don't know though how you keep Sabbath or what that means to you. So I thought I would call and ask about how you keep a Sabbath, like what makes that day special or holy in your mind.
Well, that's a day that you're supposed to rest. You're supposed to rest a day out of the week.
Oh. Hey,
And,
hold on, I have to go.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, nice. Thank you for the call. I'll elaborate a little bit. Take care, Terry. What the heck? She clicked me. I had a strict do not work on Saturday thing going for a little while there in terms of the Sabbath. And I noticed that the successful Jewish people, Ben Shapiro and them, they do the Sabbath thing too. They don't work on the Sabbath. I remember when I was in a little kid watching Chariots of Fire, there was this guy named Eric Liddell. He was a fast runner for like the mile or something like that. And he's, according to the movie, he's all, I do not run on the Sabbath or on Sunday. But Sunday is for church, Saturday is for rest from work. But I don't know if it necessarily has to be so strict. You want this? Grass. So I have seen other people deal with it really nicely though, in terms of the Sabbath, meaning they actually do rest, have a quiet day, and it's not all about just going and partying and being self-indulgent to where you need the week to recover. You need Sunday to recover or stuff like that. So nice. And I remember I was told one time, you need to leave room for Christ. Something to that effect. Take time for Christ or something like that. And it's respectable. And that's a good thing. Terry says, sorry, Hake. No worries, Terry. Better than trying to talk with, carry two conversations at once. We whites don't try to do that much. And Irish don't try to do that much, that I'm aware of. Yeah, thank you for the compliments on my shirt. Appreciate that. Chat in people. Nice. But if you have that balanced life, if you will, maybe you have more wherewithal. It's interesting, the notion of awareness as opposed to self-control or willpower or whatever. Maybe those are all kind of the same thing. You know what they say, watch what you eat. And sometimes people will worry what they eat or not really consider what they eat or whatever. And it goes with other things too that you get out of control on. And so I think the staying aware is good. That's what I think. It was strict for 15 minutes. Strict for a little while, a short time going there. Yeah, talking about my strictness and not working on Saturdays. So I don't know. Do what you want, of course. What a mess. I think I'm going to go ahead and ban this person. That was me, the Rumble crew. That was me that banned that person. Just a bit vulgar for my taste. And I'm pretty sure that that's the same sloppy, gossipy, fake Christian slanderer, libelous snake in the grass. And I like snakes. But, you know, you got to draw a line somewhere. And so I drew a line, and it's somewhere, and don't worry what the line is. All right? So I did it. That was me. Don't. Nice. And that was over in the Rumble crew. No, I didn't ban anybody in the YouTube crew yet. Okay? And so, yeah. So whatever. It's not the deadest chat in town. You guys got to see Punchy TV. Where'd my people go? Hey, let me refresh. All right. Looks like a pelican, a Peruvian pelican. No, it's actually not. Somebody said it's coral. It does have flowers that are flowers, not coral. Over water flower, the above ground flowers. But maybe on the shore. I don't know. I grew up with birds of paradise. They didn't ever seem that special. But they look okay. Anyway, I won't tell you where I got it or what the makeup is. If we mosey on back over to thehakereport.com. Let me just refresh over here real quick. Oh, yeah, you know what? Yes, and then I'll get to your super chats. Let's mosey on back to thehakereport.com. I definitely disclaim. Oh, that's odd. I definitely disclaim Reddit. Okay? I do. Don't go on Reddit, kids. It's degenerate. It's evil. And I try not to interact with anybody on Reddit. Speaking of Zohran Mamdani, you know, they're going to start voting. This was from the first debate.
For him to set foot in
This is so ridiculous.
candidate in the Democratic primary, for him to set foot in a mosque. He had more than 10 years, and he couldn't name a single mosque at the last debate we had that he visited. And what Muslims want in this city is what every community wants and deserves. They want equality, and they want respect. And it took me to get you to even see those Muslims as part of this city. And that, frankly, is something that is shameful.
That doesn't make sense.
And is why so many New Yorkers have lost faith in this politics.
Yeah, except that is totally false. I worked with the Muslim community for many years.
Name a single mosque you went to when you were the governor. Can you name a single mosque you went to in 10 years?
Before you were ever here.
Before I was here, in the Democratic primary for him.
So there's the evil guy, Andrew Cuomo, a lame-o kiss-up, being replaced by even lamer lame-o kiss-up, Zohran Mamdani, even a phonier guy. Both of them phony as H-E double toothpicks. And one is trying to claim that because you don't go to a mosque, you don't respect people. What? Doesn't even make sense. Equality, the fake idea of equality. Ridiculous. Andrew Colvett posted this back a couple weeks ago. The fact that Mamdani just attempted to shame Andrew Cuomo for not knowing the name of a mosque is exactly how this works, claims this guy. They immigrate. Who's they? The Muslims. They set up shop and then you work for them. Welcome to 2025 when mayoral candidates in America, quote unquote, are expected to kiss the ring of Islam. So says this guy who's a Christian, proud husband and father, TP USA spokesman, executive producer of the Charlie Kirk Show after Charlie died. Son of Nevada, an American. And it's Nevada, not Nevada. And don't look at my competitors on X. So, what a mess, huh? Evil Zohran Mamdani. And you saw Curtis Sliwa trying to raise his hand. Look at him. There's Curtis Sliwa. The Republican, or is he a Republican or a Republicant? He doesn't like Trump and Trump doesn't like him. Wow, look how much water they get. They get 4 bottles of water. Water. Jealous. I only have this little cup left over. Yeah, so vote for Curtis Sliwa. Because Andrew Cuomo is an enemy of America too, honestly. Just less of an enemy of America than Mamdani. I think Trump probably endorsed Cuomo, maybe. Told Sliwa to drop out. Maybe. I think Trump told the black guy who's currently mayor, imagine that, the incumbent is not even an incumbent. The incumbent is so unremarkable because he's a black Democratic cop. And he's not one of those shameless black Democrats, radical. He's just a ridiculous Democrat. And he's a cop, former cop. And so he's like a Cuomo. I shake my head. A mess. So whatever. Bye-bye, NYC. It's so ridiculous. You know, I say it's so ridiculous that, remember, I've been outraged for like 13 years, however long that it's been, that we've had in London, we Anglos have had to suffer under the thumb, under the boot, under the knee, on our necks of that Muslim mayor who's a socialist guy too, seemingly, communist, racism crying, ridiculous, whatever that guy's name is who's the mayor of London. I'm shaking my head for the audio podcast. I'm shaking my head. Those of you can't see. And it's apparently a whole lot of people can't see. You know what I mean? Jelly bean? Yes, I do. Tennis shoe. So, I forget what the yapping at Zohran yapping at Cuomo, Andrew that is, and then they're taking over everywhere. Whatever. Shout out to the Muslims. You can't beat them, join them. Hey Muslims, join forces with us. We're manlier than your Muslims. Your Muslims are little liberal simps. Your Muslim politicians, join us, alpha Christians. Am I being convincing as an alpha Christian? Okay. Anyway, what a mess. Muslim mayors in these Christian countries, white countries. Ooh, terrible. Let's see what else I had over here. Look at this. This is my competitor, another competitor. I disclaim anything that he says. I see creepy pirate invaders from a nation that still has slavery but lectures Americans that we were racist, says AJ. I, an on patriot, says these are not Americans and it has a nice looking picture of these people, but this is not supposedly in America. That doesn't just seem very nice. And then when you look at the dark hearts of these people, evil. That guy is the guy who was running for... You guys bash him for his appearance. And whatever. His teeth are white. Too white. And he was young and slim. He's not... Shout out. I like fat people. And then there's that gal she seems to be aging, actually. She used to be really pretty. Her dark heart has always been ugly and evil. But you remember this gal? Whatever her name is? Ilhan Omar. Somalian. She seems more light-skinned. I wonder... And then he's quite much darker. That's the guy who's running for mayor of Minneapolis, I think. I don't think he has a chance anymore. They just look like phony politicians. Look at their hands. That's a strange set of hands that this guy has. It's like have some body to your body. But no, it's just... Anyway, so, and then why is she holding her hands like that? These phony politicians in their phony politician hands. Ilhan Omar from Somalia through Kenya as a refugee, came to America as a refugee at like 12 or 13, and drastically overstayed her welcome, mainly by her evil words and attitude toward Americans. I liked when she said, some people did something, and after we are all punished, you know, with 9/11. That's how now you know how the whites feel. Some people did something, and after all, the whites are... And you don't even know what they actually did. You misrepresent what they did. The whites did, you know? It's shameful. All right, so... I disclaim, they're worse than pirates. They are socialists. And not even the Christian kind. So-called Christian. There are phony Christians who will side with these people over decent folks like my competitors who are much hated, much maligned, you know? It's ridiculous. So, Somali American politicians. Yay. Terrible. It's a big mess. Yeah. You know how this election is coming up? Anchor Babe was talking about the gerrymandering, and the liberal media and phony politicians have been talking about how the Republicans are more guilty of gerrymandering. When there's voter fraud, it tends to be they catch Republicans doing it. And that depends on your definition of gerrymandering. It's kind of like hate crimes and stuff. And did you know that disproportionately overrepresented in, which is a bit redundant to say it that way, in hate crimes is Black Americans. They commit more hate crimes per capita than anybody else, if I understand correctly. As I recall reading from a great researcher, real Vincent James. My top 10 favorite Jew, Stephen Miller, he's better than the 10th. He's ahead of the 10th. He asked how many people just realized, this is a while ago, a couple weeks ago, that Dems, as in Democrats, had as many as 20 extra seats based on years of unconstitutional race-based gerrymandering. Newswire reports Democrats in the South face a wipeout. Remember that song? No, 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 no. Wipeout. If the Supreme Court guts the so-called Voting Rights Act, there's no such you know how Mays is always calling in complaining about, we got an act. My favorite caller. Y'all whites have a right. Big Bump has an act. And Big Bump doesn't have an act. There is no such thing as a right to vote, actually. And so they're pretending that voting is a right, and it's not. It's kind of like saying housing is a right. No. Voting is what is an opportunity for the responsible. It's meant for the responsible people to do. But they want all the irresponsible people to do it. They want the women to vote, and the women are disproportionately irresponsible. They want to abort and all kinds of different things. Shout out. I like women, even those women who commit the abortion. I do. And they want these other people who don't work, or they have government jobs and they just are trifling and lazy and self-entitled and selfish and accusatory, speaking ill, bearing false witness against their neighbors and accusing the whites of racism when they're the ones who are all stuck on the race thing and lying. What would happen if Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act, if you got it out, all these blue areas would become red, as in not communist necessarily, although red is, the Republicans are kind of commie lately. And they maybe were back then too. I learned that from Asmodor, the late great resident historian. Lincoln's red Republicans, terrible Marxists. But anyway, only little teeny bits of these beautiful southern states would turn communist, would remain communist, I mean. Plausible scenario anyway. Wow. And that's by way of mass immigration, legal and illegal, by people who don't think American. They don't believe in the First Amendment, freedom of speech. They think they can kill you for saying the N-word, or they justify you getting killed for allegedly saying the N-word. Crazy. And these are Americans who think that way, so-called blacks, mostly. And then they don't believe in the Second Amendment. They don't even believe in anything other than their own lying thoughts and brainwashed teaching. And then with the education, it's a mess. It's so funny how over the past 60, 80 years, 100 years, 150 years, the people in power have accused the underdogs of cheating and lying and power tripping and other stuff, when they're the ones also, or even to a greater degree, cheating and lying and power tripping and infiltrating. You know how Trump was accused of agreeing with the Project 2025, which was like a normie conservative organization, so-called, center-right, supposedly, Heritage Foundation or something, how he was going to be transforming the executive branch to be all for him. Excuse me, what I learned was the executive branch is the president and then his cabinet. And everybody in the executive branch is supposed to agree with Trump or agree with whoever's president. But no, that's not the case. The balance of power there's even a fight in the executive branch. It's a mess. And that's because they have had Project 1865 or something like that. I don't know how long they've had a corrupt hold on the executive branch. But all of the bureaucracies are a bunch of far-left extremist liberals. So it's ridiculous. They're a mess. Shout out. Anyway, there's your gerrymandering propaganda. Debunked. Shout out to Stephen Miller. I don't know if he's my top 5 favorite Jews. Who's my top favorite Jewish people? Jesus? And I know that you guys argue that he's not. Whatever. David? King David, you know. He's good. Paul? Shall I include Paul? Saul? JLP? Is Stephen Miller better than Bibi? That's an interesting question. Bibi's been around longer. So Stephen Miller. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's probably my 6th favorite Jew. I probably have said that before. Anyway, I like Dennis Prager. Anyway, nice. Let me move on to calls. I'm sure I'm forgetting people. William number 7 out of California is on the line over here, and then I'll get to your super chats, guys. William, are you there?
Hey, Hake. Good morning.
Thank you.
How are you?
Doing fine, thank you.
Excellent. So I had a question, a simple one.
Okay.
You were mentioning about how Islam wants us to kiss the ring of Islam.
Yeah, that's what somebody in the X said.
Oh, so because I didn't know what ring they're talking about. Is it the imam that's coming that everyone claims is the false Christ or whatever?
No, what we were talking about was you got to visit a mosque and visit more mosques and kiss up and make promises and say and tell the Muslims, oh, these whites and Christians are such bigots. They're such Islamophobes. They just hate brown people. And I'm going to fight for you. You're going to be equal. That's what he means by kiss the ring, is kiss up to them.
Well, I tell you what.
Yeah.
It's kind of tough. You guys had a guest on, that young kid. His name was Bryce, I think, something.
No, it was not Bryce. You're talking about just last week, right?
Well, he's a kid that goes and he's in L.A. there, or maybe you guys should have him on. But he's kind of a big YouTuber, young guy. He goes. And
I thought you were talking about somebody who was already on the Jesse Lee Peterson show just last week.
I thought he was, but maybe not. I get the podcast mixed up, but I know he'd be very interesting for you guys, maybe.
Oh, okay.
But
well, send your tips over send your tips over to producer@jesseleepeterson.com.
All right.
Yeah.
But
in terms of, we had somebody on, let me tell you who we had on, just so that, because it's bugging me. Mockler, Adam Mockler. He was born part Muslim because his dad is Muslim. And then his mom.
I remember watching that guy.
Yeah, his mom is like, you don't have to stay Muslim, Adam. You can be an agnostic like me. And he's like, okay, Mom, right. I'll be an agnostic.
Well, just so you know,
yeah.
Hake, this kid went to where you and JLP went downtown when you guys were interviewing, and we're doing on the Speak there in Hollywood, and he went to the tent of the black Muslim Israelites that claim they're the Hebrew Israelites that claim they're the only ones being saved.
Black Hebrew Israelites.
I thought he held his own. Those guys were rude. Like, they would talk over you and said, I'm wasting my time with you. And just wouldn't even talk to him because he would get him in a corner.
Uh-huh.
Hold on. I had to put my phone down for a second. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
Are you still there?
Yeah.
Anyway, so but he loves the Lord. Grew up in the church, but he tells his whole testimony.
Oh, you're talking about somebody else then, because Adam Mockler is an agnostic. He's an atheist.
No, I know. Yeah. I'm just talking about this guy. I don't want to dox him, but he's got tattoos on his right arm and left leg, and they're all Hebrew letters.
Wow.
So I don't know. I guess maybe the 22 letters mean something, supposedly. But so anyway, the kid's on fire, and he seems to have a good heart.
Okay.
But because he's so young, people kind of dismiss him and kind of disrespect him, and those Hebrew Israelites definitely did that.
Yeah,
but,
typical.
I would have got angry, but thanks to Jesse and y'all's teachings, I let it go. I wondered if I could have let it go if I would have been there, you know?
Nice.
But yeah. So anyway, so you mentioned your 5 favorite Jews.
6.
Do you have 5
6.
favorite Muslims?
Oh, in terms of
Muslims?
That's a good question. Let me see if I have 5 favorite Muslim. I like. There's this guy on the internet called Imam of Peace. I don't know much about him, but I like him. I like that guy Tate. He's Muslim. I like Sneeko.
Oh, that guy with the kind of the bug eyes. He's really intense in his interviews, and he talks like this. He's very intense.
Yes.
Listen, like that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Sneeko. He was on the JLP show, even though I think it's ridiculous that he turned Muslim. So that's 3. I don't know if I like Muhammad.
I never met him.
Yeah.
Or Jesus.
No, right. I know, but Jesus is my top favorite Jew because you're supposed to have him first.
Yeah, they're probably both up in heaven laughing at us all arguing. Like,
yeah.
Man, they don't even get what we meant. They're all arguing over our writings. We shouldn't have wrote, man. And Jesus said, I didn't write anything. Anyway.
Yeah, I'm not sure about my Muslims. I'll have to think about that, man. There are some Muslims I kind of like, though. Oh, you know what? I really like Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson. It's ridiculous that these blacks are turning Muslim.
That's why I forgot all about him.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's ridiculous that he's Muslim.
Yeah.
That's my least favorite
Muhammad
thing about
Ali?
him. No, I don't like him.
Was it Muhammad Ali?
Yeah, but I don't like him.
Oh, very well.
Reason that I don't like him or Malcolm X is because they're all. I don't know that they were as loving and reasonable as Mike Tyson is.
Well, I mean, Muhammad Ali did suffer in the end of his life in his physical body.
I know.
I don't know.
Yeah, so he may have turned himself around.
What comes around does go around. Karma is the law of God. It's you reap what you sow. You know, I think.
Yeah, I don't know.
I could be wrong.
Yeah, my grandpa had the same thing he did. Parkinson's, I think, was what he had, right? Was it Parkinson's? Something.
Like Michael J. Fox?
Yeah. Did Muhammad,
all right, well,
Cassius Clay?
Oh, go ahead.
No, I don't know.
Yeah, he floated like a butterfly and stung like a bee.
Yeah, I didn't really get to enjoy his personality because I was too young back then. I might not even have been born when he was at his height, the height of his career.
Yeah.
So I only knew him to be kind of an angry and on decline person. So.
Yeah, I don't know if he ever bit someone's ear off, but I don't know.
I still like Mike Tyson. I was rooting for Evander Holyfield, but because I was Christian, I'm like Team Christian. Yeah, we gotta get a Christian. Anyway,
that was funny. All right, well, I gotta let you go because you got other callers. Shout out to that one guy that says, and I like to listen to the other callers. I want to know what the other callers say.
Right.
What's his name? He's a good guy.
Yeah.
Shout out to him.
Thank you, William. Yes. Shout out
all right,
to
man.
Alan.
Peace out, and maybe for food of thought, come up with our next phone call for your 5 favorite Wait, what's that one group? Oh man, it just slipped. Something? No, not Muslims.
Black Hebrew Israelites.
Zoroastrianism. No, the Zoroastrianism or something like that.
Oh.
Zoroastrianism people.
I'm not even aware of 5 of them. But thank you, sir.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Take care, man. Yes, Cassius Clay. How do you Irishmen pronounce this? Cassius Clay. Later known as Muhammad Ali, had Parkinson's disease. Officially diagnosed in 1984. I was like 2 or 3 years old. He was 42 years old at the time of his diagnosis. Wow. Although May initially attributed to the condition to head trauma from boxing, doctors later determined he had young onset idiopathic, Parkinson's disease, likely due to a combination of genetic factors. This is from Google AI, okay? So take everything that you hear with a grain of salt. Info may be false. And head trauma. So genes and head trauma. Diagnosis, blah, blah, blah. I already said that. Slowed and slurred voice. Studies show began years earlier. So they think it was a combo of the genes and repeated head trauma. I never saw him get punched in the head. I thought that he was a regular old Floyd Mayweather Jr. over here, going like this. Never getting touched. That's why I respect Floyd Mayweather Jr. He may not be able to read, but it's not for head trauma that he can't read very well. And I like people who can't read well. Ali became a prominent advocate. See, this is so typical. For Parkinson's research and awareness. And he helped establish the Muhammad Ali Parkinson Center in Phoenix, Arizona. You know, people claim that, oh, if I don't have emotions, I'm a robot. But because you have emotions and you identify with yourself, you're a robot. You're so predictable. You catch Parkinson's, you want to raise awareness of Parkinson's, and you want to help other people who got Parkinson's. You know, you ladies, you get an abortion, you want other women to be able to get an abortion. Or other ladies who get an abortion, then you realize it's wrong, or so you think that you realized, and then you have all this guilt, and you want to save other women from the guilt of the abortion. What a mess, huh? Reminds me of Michael J. Fox did the same, and I liked Michael J. Fox. Back to the Future, anybody? Huh? Teen Wolf? I only saw the cartoon. I never saw the movie or TV show, whatever it was. And I didn't even really watch the cartoon. But Michael J. Fox, he's still at it, huh? How he doing? Let's see this.
Welcome back, everybody.
Lord, no! Did you know that this guy is a Christian? Speaking of that, just a side note. Everybody an activist, SMH. But this guy's supposedly Christian, right? Can you believe it? He's a Christian. I wonder if that hurts. I never noticed his ear sticking out like that. We're looking at a late night host, Colbert. He used to be funny when he played like he was a right-winger. I'm like, yeah, but really he was mocking right-wingers. I wonder if this is the one. Yeah, there's Adam Mockler from August of 2024. Yeah, here's where I debated with Adam Mockler. It was Destiny. Oh, no. No, Destiny versus Cam Higbee was a different debate that happened after that, but on the same stream. Hake debated, there's Lonerbox, I think is his name. There's that other guy who's like a lawyer, right-winger guy, decent man. There's a boomer, angry man who was yelling from his car. There's, nice, Hippy Dippy. Adam Mockler from Midas Touch. What's that say? Trump 2012. Talked about Obama's birth. Oh, yeah, he had a question for me about Obama's birth. 2016, lock her up. And I'm like, Hillary? Yes. They're pretending like Hillary didn't deserve to be locked up. Not that I know whether she does or doesn't deserve to be locked up, but even liberals think that she's corrupt. So why would you have outrage about that? You know what I mean? I took a lot of notes, but I didn't take timestamps. Rashad Crenshaw was in there, lecture fan. Pretty fun. The Hippy Dippy Roundtable. It's a little bit hard to listen to because it's so many people. And it's a bunch of egos and it's a mess. But you can check the hakereport.com/appearances if you ever want to see some of my other appearances. All right. So before too long, let me get to Germaine in Canada, who's on the line over here. Germaine, thank you for calling and holding, sir. What's up?
What's up, James? Sharpshooter 007. What's up?
Very nice intro. I like it.
How are you, man?
Doing well, thank you.
Nice. It's a beautiful day here in Canada. The leaves are changing.
Nice.
Like it.
It's fall, huh? It's autumn. What do you call it? Fall or autumn?
Autumn.
Nice.
It's not. Well, yeah, it's not fall yet.
So autumn is different from fall?
I mean, I guess when they say fall, it's mostly like snowy time.
Oh, okay.
That's what I pick up. Yeah.
I used to always think of fall and autumn as the same thing, but you may be right, actually. I just use them interchangeably because autumn means like the leaves changing, and then fall, I guess, is fall because the leaves actually fall off going into winter. Yeah.
Yes.
Interesting. All right.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, I'm calling you about. It's just I can sum up this quick story for you.
Yeah.
So you know that if poem of Trump.
Yes.
So I post that video, and I have a friend. I don't know if we're a friend anymore. He says we're not friends anymore. So I post that story because I like that poem. It's pretty good. It's amazing. And he was saying, he texted me, he's like, "You like Trump?" I'm like, "Yeah, I like Trump. I think he's amazing."
Yeah.
And then he's like, "You like Israel?" I'm like, "Yeah, I love Israel." And then he just attacked me.
Wow.
Left and right. And I'm like, it's funny because now I see now I can really see what Jesse was talking about when, you're not trying to defend yourself or anything because there's nothing to defend. You're just having a conversation. And because they're angry and it's really, you're trying to point the way, but because they're so angry and frustrated, they just can't see. So it's amazing to just watch it happen. And I'm sorry, bro, that I can't help you. And he's like, "I never asked you for help." And I'm like, "That's not what I meant, though."
Yeah.
So it's just funny to see, right?
Yeah.
And he went on to ask me, like, do I support, like, Israel bombing Palestine? I'm like, it's neither wrong or right. I don't really have an opinion on it. I understand that war is going to happen, right?
Yeah.
And he calls me a word, but I don't want to say it because I really don't know what he means.
Okay.
He's like, look up what Jewish people call black people. And I'm like, I really don't care what they call me. Like,
right.
Why does that matter?
Yeah. You're not petty
And
like that.
Yeah. And he went on. He's like, "Bro, you need to look up history and learn and
Is this friend of yours Jamaican as well, or what is he?
No, he's Muslim. I've known him for a long time now.
Uh-huh.
I think from back in 2016, 17, I know him for a while.
Okay.
And we hang out now and then, but I haven't seen him in a while because just busy.
Yeah.
And he was saying, "You need to read history, man." I'm like, no, I'm just not interested in reading history. I don't care for it.
Yeah.
Because you read it and you're gonna get angry and upset, which you can read it and not get upset and angry.
Right.
But most people just read it to get upset and angry and point fingers. And that, so I'm telling him, like, listen, you know, in America, you know, what's that guy's name? Columbus or whatever his name is?
Christopher Columbus?
Yeah. He went to America. They let him in. Okay. You see what could have done? He made the place better. They took over. Here in Canada, same thing. You let them in, they take over. So I'm like, why would we now allow Muslims that doesn't like people, well, like the what they call it, infidels? They don't like the Christians.
Right.
They don't like the whites. They don't like the Jews.
Yeah.
I'm like, why would they let them in the country now for you guys to take over? It's like, bro, what are you talking about? We love you, black people. We love you, people. And because I didn't agree with him on anything, he just got super mad and upset at me. He tried to guilt trip me into just being sorry and feel bad. I'm like, sorry, I don't.
Yeah.
You know? So it was just an interesting conversation to just be there and not defend anything.
Yeah.
Rather than just be present and see what's happening. Right. Yeah. I thought that was interesting.
It is.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, Germaine.
Yeah, man. All right, Hake. Have a good show.
Thank you, man. Take care.
Bye.
Bye. I can kind of relate to what he's talking about. I've had different friends on even this show, and sometimes I don't know what they're thinking, but they're like, do you really believe what you're saying or something like that? And I'm like, what am I even saying that I wouldn't believe? I don't know. I don't get it. And I don't know how much they know that I say because I just have my little show doing my little thing and whatever. And like I always say in my disclaimer, a lot of times you guys misinterpret what I mean and what I'm saying. People are interpreting Trump as racist and fascist. What? It doesn't even make any sense. People misinterpret all the time and judge, and they think you're the one being judgmental and hateful when you may be, but they're hating and judging you. And that's why they're mad, because they're hateful and judgmental. It's so interesting. I have to read these super chats. I'm past the top of the hour, everybody. And I will get to your calls if you'd like to call in. Some of you guys already on hold. 888-775-3773. But I have plenty of super chats. Not the least of which is Terry. After she hung up, she's all, Sliwa is a hometown hero. I'm reading from the YouTube super chat, okay? This is on buymeacoffee.com/The Hake Report. But I'm reading from the YouTube. And she says, Sliwa is a hometown hero. Sliwa for mayor of New York City. You think he would do a good job? I don't know. Can he run his own house? I mean, I feel like and I'm for him. But I'm asking. I get that. I don't even know if he has a chance, but I heard that his wife is pro-cat, and that's why he has like 17 cats or something. He has a lot of cats. And it makes it seem like he is kind of like all too many of us are. I'm grimacing and frowning and putting a disgusted look on my face. A simp for his wife. And if you're a simp for your wife, what makes you think you're going to have the proper toughness to run the city? You know what I mean? And so I don't know if he is or not. I'm just, but he doesn't seem as tough as, say, like a Trump. I used to see him on, he just seems kind of silly. It's kind of like my judgment toward that guy whom I respect more now than ever. Ron Paul. But he just seems high-pitched voice. And yeah, you can be tough and have a high-pitched voice. But he just seems like slightly almost effeminate. He and his son, Rand Paul and Ron Paul. Like their accent is like an effeminate accent. Kevin knows what I'm talking about. Because there's another caller who's called into like Anchor Baby and has this sort of an accent. And shout out. But it just doesn't come off as tough. What's wrong with the men? American, conservative, sensible, in terms of the common sense politics anyway, men. I don't know. But I was not aware that Sliwa is a hometown hero. And what are you doing saying that, Terry? What do you mean? You're over in Portland saying Sliwa is a hometown hero. Oh, hometown from Portland? Because he's so weird. I could believe that he's from Portland. So that's my little rant about Curtis Sliwa. Sorry, Curtis Sliwa. That's messed up. I disclaim. Curtis Sliwa, hometown hero. Is he up to the task? I don't know. But I appreciate him for what he is. Shout out. He got on the national stage. And nice. Vote for Curtis. And I encourage Cuomo to step down and endorse Curtis Sliwa if you want a little sanity. Anyway, let me zoom in over here. Women have baby rabies. Birth control was started, and feminism was started by them. Jesse calls it my country. Kayla bought a coffee. I was reviewing the super chats. Coffees. Kayla bought a coffee. Good morning. Responded to one of Eric's coffees yesterday. It's unfortunate, something that females are deceived to be. That females are deceived to be betas / promiscuous. Yeah, if you care about the country, it's unfortunate, you know? It's not right. And if you care about the ladies, because it's misery. And then there's ladies who are not promiscuous, but then they're promiscuously flaunt their non-promiscuousness. And that's not right either. I love the point. Don't talk about S. I mentioned it in the JLP chat today because I saw super somebody, I shall not dox, talk about, I asked this woman her body count. She got mad. He's like, no diamond. I don't know if you're supposed to say that word. No diamond. But I don't know. You will see if she has the spirit of a pure spirit. 7 years, no S. You'll see through the bogus S speech. And you won't even need to ask that question. Personally, I think. There's nothing wrong with Jesse's question about take her to McDonald's, your first date or whatever, and maybe Burger King, I guess, and ask, if I were to marry you, would you obey me? If we were to marry, right? Would you obey me? That's a reasonable question. I like that. But don't be asking about this degenerate and morbid body count stuff. My suggestion, because it's shameful. I've quoted the Bible as saying it's shameful even to talk about the dirty deeds done dirt cheap. done in darkness, whatever the line is in the Bible. We're quoting the Bible, okay? It's not Guns N' Roses or whatever devilish band. Promiscuousness. Yeah, thank you, Kayla. I appreciate that. Very nice. Do. Eric bought a coffee. Or 5. Jake Rattlesnake TV and Andrew Wilson discussed JLP. I saw a glimpse of that. I didn't even really watch any of it, but I did read the comments. And the comments were interesting. And Eric says, not Andrew Wilson's best performance. I'm kind of familiar with Andrew Wilson because I was on The Crucible many a time. I was the bigger channel back then. I had the 12, 15,000 or whatever I had a few years ago, same as now. And now he's exploded. He's the bigger man now. It's kind of like when Microsoft became bigger than Apple or something like that. I don't know. It's whatever. Anyway, so Andrew Wilson of The Crucible, been on Piers Morgan. I guess you could call him a competitor. The ego, says Eric, wants to be right more than the ego wants the truth. Boy, that's the truth. He digs a deep hole in this video. Deep hole of wanting to be right rather than wanting the truth, he's hiding in the hole, hiding from the truth. I noticed that with popcorn, Eric, and with many a people in the snake pit, many a different snake pit. It may not be this snake pit, but maybe all snake pits. There's always somebody hiding from the truth, disclaiming, just arguing, busy in the mind. A busy mind cannot conceive, cannot perceive. Jake came into the JLP interview with a twisted perspective via Andrew's criticism, claims Eric. I am glad Jesse and Jake had a great conversation. Indeed, they did. I hope Jake and Andrew revisit their criticism. It didn't age well, says Eric. Andrew Wilson explains Jesse's method of waking people up as effery. I'm not going to say that word out loud for the sake of the kids and the ladies, but it's a funny word. It's like the best word. Not that I ever use that word, but that's a funny word. Don't read that word, kids. Jedi mind tricks, con artist doublespeak. His ignorance shown through blatant contempt is a misconception of how Jesse leads the blind out of hell. That's right, Eric. I wasn't aware, but I kind of, people who are judgmental and blind will blindly judge and jump to a conclusion and not comprehend. Andrew undermines the results of the process by attacking the method. All his intelligence, knowledge, and he can't see how he's using emotion, abrasive language, contempt, speaking in certainties to persuade the person he's quote-unquote educating, and in parentheses, Jake. You think Jake fell for it? I didn't watch the video. I only read the comments. Okay, so anyway, I'd love to see Jesse and Andrew have a conversation, says Eric. The majority of the comments of the video support JLP. Yeah, I noticed that. I was reading the comments and they were interesting. Thanks, Eric. Jake Rattlesnake and Andrew Wilson. Rattlesnake TV. Very good interview. By the way, the ways that let me show you guys the ways that you can catch some of these interviews. If you go to rumble.com/ you Rumble Nazis, and I'm saying Nazis in terms of you're too strict. You're so strict, you're racist against YouTube, if you will, right? You can follow this playlist. I just followed it. And you can see Jesse's interviews on Roseanne Barr, on whatever that is, on, I guess that's, what's his name? Elijah and something? I don't know. on War Room with Harrison Smith of InfoWars. Oh, because War Room is no longer with the great, what's his name? There's been some drama, falling out between friends with what's his name, Owen. We don't pick sides around here. Roseanne Barr again, Hodge twins, Matt Gaetz interviewed JLP, and Rattlesnake TV. So this is Jesse Lee Peterson JLP appearances on Rumble. And on YouTube, if you go to YouTube and you go to, what does that say, youtube.com? And you go to JLP Talks or Jesse Lee Peterson's YouTube channel, if you scroll down, you'll eventually see media interviews with Jesse Lee Peterson on the homepage. And you can like follow that, save that to your library or whatever. And you can see the recent appearances. Jamie Kennedy, Alex Stein, Michael Malice. I wonder if there's that looks like JLP was on with, what's his name, Elijah Schaefer, right? Rift TV. I wonder if that is Elijah Schaefer, slightly offensive, whatever. Oh, that was like a year ago. But anyway, on YouTube or Rumble, and even some of the JesseLeePeterson.com, JesseLeePeterson.com does list some of the appearances. Not all of them. Doesn't list every little show. What do you mean little? We should put the Jake Rattlesnake one on the YouTube, on the JesseLeePeterson.com though. If it's not already. I'll tell those guys. We should put JLP Rattlesnake TV appearance on JLP page site. I'll send later. Anyway, so that nice. Thank you. And then I'll get to your calls. 1-888-775 or will I? 3773. Now, Cesar. Sup, Hake? Round of applause, standing ovation. Celebration hands, tan and clapping tan hands. Man, you nailed it when it came to my coffee on JLP earlier. I actually expected you to butcher it again. I don't remember butchering the first time, but I wouldn't put it past myself. I'm not claiming that I didn't. You, sir, have redeemed yourself, my good sir. Have an awesome show, bud. Right on, Cesar or Caesar. Yeah. That's right. I'm your puppet. Pull my string. I'm your puppet. I heard it it stuck with me because Anchor Baby played it on his show months ago. And so I just started playing it on the jukebox sometimes and stuff like that. And so I knew how it went. And did you know that multiple different people have sung I'm Your Puppet? Oh, Lord. James and Bobby Purify? I don't know. Written by Dan Penn and Spooner Oldham. Best known version, James and Bobby Purify. Number 5 on R&B charts. Number 6 on Billboard Hot 100, 1966. Nominated for a Grammy by performed R&B by a duo group or group with vocals in 67. All right, so a re-recorded version in 76 got number 12 in UK and New Zealand. Those Kiwis, they love the blacks. Shout out. Any Kiwis in chat? Papa Don Enterprises produced the song, arranged by Penn and Don Schroeder. Is that a Jewish name? They're all the best musicians. And natural. But other chart-topping versions, Cam-Packed. Hadn't heard of it. Heard of them. Diane, with 2 N's and an E. Lay or Lee, Leigh. I usually think of that as Lay, but some people are literally Lee. Dionne Warwick. I've heard of her. Mickey Gilly. I've played the one by, what's his name and what's her name? Wow, Elton John sang it. Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell. That one's cool. I like that one too. Penn released the original version of the song as a single in '65. Oh. So anyway, a whole bunch of different people have sung it. Yo La Tango. I think I saw them in concert one time. Yo La Tango. Was it Yo La Tango or was it Sonic Youth? Wow, imagine if, did Hake see... Anyway, the Raconteurs. Is the Raconteurs that one group that has that one guy in it? Oh, it has Jack White? Oh, I must be confusing him with somebody else. Who's that group that had, not Smokey. Dancing on the Ceiling. Oh boy. I'm trying not to click anything. I can't see from here. Lionel Richie. So what was Lionel Richie in what band was he in? Real quick. Just a side note. I got it. He's 76 years old, by the way. Lionel Richie. Lord have mercy. He was in a group, right? It's just important to me. I'm sorry. Commodores. Okay, there. Easy on Sunday morning. He looks funny. He looks like my Asian friend. One of my former Asian friends. I'm like, you look like Lionel Richie. Sorry, guys. All right. I'm your puppet and soul. Thank you, Cesar or Cesar. All right. Lord have mercy. Eric bought a coffee. Clarity to my super chat this morning. All suffering is from thinking you know who you are. I thought. You can't feel anything without an I thought. That's what. So says you. Lin Yan Shin thinks you feel first and then you think. But anyway, or he doesn't even think it's feeling, it's emotion first. Because feeling is different. Feeling is actually sensation. But anyway, let me not step all over your super chat more than I am too impulsive not to. You can't feel anything without an I thought. That's why emotion is an indication of unconsciousness. You can't have anger without thinking you know who you are. Knowing thyself is being yourself. There is nothing to know. Being something is death. Being nothing is life. If the purpose of life is to overcome our hell, then the only sin is to have a subjective thought. Subject meaning you think you're the subject, right? Hell equals I thought, leaving the isness, is being, and entering the I is from thinking you're in control, playing God. I is identity. E equals ego, equals the devil. Purple devil emoji, looking cute. The only sin is identifying with a thought, says Eric. I inserted that because, anyway, because after that, identifying with a thought, you're unconscious. Yeah, and when you're unconscious, you do all kinds of stuff. It's kind of what I was talking about earlier with, the watch what you eat thing. You know not what you do. See? Nick said, I thoughts are a constant attempt to justify myself. Nick the Anchor Baby, I believe, probably said that. So true, says Eric. That's because evil is using the imagination to justify selfish behavior. Selfish, I thought. So I ask, are I thoughts the only sin? He asks. Thank you, Eric. I thoughts. Very nice. Someone bought a coffee. Hake cannot be challenged by toxic Auntie or Auntie. I call it Auntie. You guys may call it Auntie. Toxic Auntie. I had an auntie, and she was not an aunt, but we called her Auntie. Auntie, and I'm not going to dox her first name. Terry said, sorry, I had to go. Maintenance came by and had to enter my apartment. Stay rested. Praying hands or thanks hands together emoji. Thank you, Terry. Appreciate the support. And I think to your question about the Sabbath, if you spend a day being quieter, as setting aside more time for quiet, might be good, because you have these assignments and things, or sit in a room for 4 minutes alone, quiet, nothing, apart from just the prayer time, or an hour or whatever, and go through that. Might be a good day for things like that. I mean, every day, every opportunity, there's probably opportunities every day for things of that nature. Thank you, Terry, as always. Cesar or Cesar, I want to ask you a question regarding this small debate I had with a coworker. Which point of view would you prefer? Knowing your coworkers who perform the same duties as you might be making more than you but do less work? ? Or not knowing how much these same coworkers are making and not knowing how much they work? ? What do you know? What you do know is that you are making just over $100K a year. Bonus question, which do you think I would prefer? Asks Cesar or Cesar. That's an interesting question, Cesar or Cesar. I would prefer not to know, because that's the proper thing. That's the American, old school, white, manly, mind your own business thing, where it's private, you're not nosy, you're not thinking in terms of comparison and what somebody else has and what somebody else is doing. The only thing you want is, in terms of somebody else doing their job, is that they do their job enough that you can do your job well. Because sometimes their job has to be done so that you can do your job. If Anchor Baby didn't do his job, or he does things beyond his job, actually, and sometimes that's spoiling, and he's learned from that. But anyway, if he didn't do his job, or Bill didn't do his job, I wouldn't have a show. But I don't care what anybody's paid, and if you're getting $100K a year, depending on where you live and how you're living and what kind of threats you face and things of that nature, you're doing all right. You're all right now. Now, I do know that you're into learning things about the outside world and Jews and stuff. So I would imagine that you may sometimes be tempted to want to know what they're up to and stuff like that, and how much they get. A lot of Mexicans, I don't know if you're Mexican, I forget, I think you're Dominican. A lot of Latinos are kind of nosy and chisme, or gossip, and whatever, perceptive of others' vibes. But I imagine that I think when it comes down to it, you really don't care what they make, and you just do your job, whether they're making more or not. I think that's what you'd prefer. when it comes down to it. And even maybe right this moment. It's interesting that it's a question. Thank you, man. Yeah, I like that, because these women, it's like a woman thing. Oh, these men are getting more. Remember the Obama, this Lilly Ledbetter Act? That was like one of the first things Obama did. Lilly Ledbetter Act. Let's find out about this. Something or other. The Lilly, 2 L's in the middle of, 3 L's really. Lilly, double L, right? Ledbetter Fair Pay Act. Fair. Fair is for Pay Act of 2009, Obama's first year, is a U.S. law that allows workers, so-called workers, to challenge so-called pay discrimination. You're supposed to pay discriminatingly. You're supposed to be discriminating in your pay. If you're indiscriminately paying equal amounts to everybody, then what in the world are you doing? Can't run a business like that. By extending the time frame for filing a charge, it amends the so-called Civil Rights Act of 1964, which really should be abolished, to state that an unlawful employment practice occurs each time a discriminatory paycheck is issued, allowing employees up to 2 years after the most recent paycheck to file a claim for back pay. Lilly Ledbetter had some unequal pay and then went to the so-called Supreme Court, but it was rejected because she filed it too late. But it shouldn't even be, it's not even her business. Obama, January 29th, in his first week and a half in office, the first bill he signed, kissing up to evil women. So, such questions make me want to spit. Don't spit in the studio, Hake. Very nice. Thank you, Cesar or Cesar. Before I get to the rest of these super chats, I will. I'd like to get to Kentucky John, a caller.
Kentucky John.
John from Kentucky. How you doing, man?
Doing all right, man. I just was on the road. I said, let me call in the Hake.
It's been a little while. You've been two-timing me. You've been calling Anchor, baby.
Yeah, I like to argue. I like to argue with Nick. Nick, he don't let me talk. He just keeps talking over me and stuff like that. I can't get a word out. But it's still fun, though. Good. But no, man, I just had some questions. You know, I'm riding now. When are you going to allow Joe back on?
I don't know if I ever will. So the Lord, let the Lord tell me.
Let the Lord tell you.
Yeah.
The Lord ain't going to talk to you then, so it ain't going to never happen. You need Satan. You need Satan to talk to
when
you, man.
When the Lord or Satan convinces me to allow him back on, I have respectfully held him at arm's length going forward because he's such a communist, you know? Such a snake.
I don't even know what a communist is. I just know Republicans say it as an insult. I don't even think it's a real thing. I think it's one of them made-up words like y'all talk about made-up words.
Maybe so. But either way, he's a snake who justifies the banning of normal conservative pro-America people. So he's not
I enjoyed him. He's very smart and he knows how to get under your skin.
That's true. He did get under my skin. That's not right. But yeah, he totally
did. As well as Mark, my second favorite caller, Mark.
Yeah.
He needs to start calling in too. Those are the two I like to listen to. I don't know who these other guys are besides Art. And Art, I don't know about Art sometimes.
Why is that?
Kind of weird. He's kind of weird to me.
He's from the tribe of Judah.
Yeah, he is, but he don't even know who Esau is. He just refuses to answer that.
Oh.
He tries to save white people. He loves y'all.
He sees me as his brother.
Well, you're not his brother. Well, I guess spiritually you are. But I mean, we're two different kind of people.
Yeah, and we definitely are.
We're really not supposed to be together. Y'all are supposed to be under our foot right now. Well, not right now, but soon. Hey, soon.
Is it better to be under the foot of like Zohran Mamdani and these
no
Democrats, Or is it better to be under your foot? Are you a more just slave master?
Well, we all have rank, right? I'm not at the top, but I know wise men that could lead better than your great white hope and be righteous and be a good slave master, like you say.
Yeah. So the person the man whom you're thinking would not be an unjust and brutal slave master.
I'm not gonna say not brutal, but
but righteously brutal.
Hey man, you need to get my guys on the show, man. I'll send you an email, but you've had one of them on Fallen State before.
Okay.
And he's really, really, really popular right now. Can I say his name?
If he was on the Fallen State, let's hear it.
Yeah, Captain Cesar.
Okay.
UPK. Hey, he's awesome, man. He's awesome.
Nice. The BHI, Black Hebrew Israelites.
No, Hebrew Israelites.
The
or
HI.
just Israelites.
The HI, the Hebrew Israelites.
Yeah, y'all say black because y'all trying to insult us, but I mean, you can be Hispanic and Hebrew Israelite or Israelite.
I guess everybody who's a Hebrew Israelite, you know what they're talking about because the Israelis call themselves Israelis now. And then the Israelites in the Bible, they didn't necessarily call themselves Hebrew Israelites. So they just called themselves Israelites or Hebrews. Okay.
And then the so-called Jews call themselves Jewish because they know they're not the real Jews. They just know they converted to Judaism, and they completely hijacked our history, and now they run the world.
Crazy isn't that crazy how people worse than you supposedly have overtaken you and now are ruling over you and everybody else?
Yeah, but it's through how can I say it? God ordained all of this.
He mentioned he did say that would happen.
So, but he also said something else was going to happen too. Like they're the synagogue of Satan, and they're not going to last. And it just seems like to me when I look at the news and when I see how critical everybody is of Israel, oh man, everything seems clear to me. The things that I've been taught since leaving Christianity.
I mean, they advocated for this diversity stuff, and now this diversity stuff is turning against them. So you're right about that.
Oh, you talking about the Jews?
Yeah.
Well, they're turning against the whites because the whites have always had power, and y'all just losing altogether, man. I don't see y'all any better.
I know.
Yes, it's a shame for y'all and it's a shame for us. We've been through hard times. It can get the worst of the worst, and it's just normal to us.
You think so?
Yeah, for sure.
But you're pretty comfortable under capitalism and Trump and Christianity and stuff.
But man, when you think about it, capitalism is just evil, man. The buying and selling is corrupted by greed and people being in power and controlling everything. Just like this NBA stuff with all this gambling and stuff. They're putting all the black faces on the front, like they started these criminal organizations or something. They don't want to mention these mobs.
Because nobody knows those mob people, but
Trump knows them. He's friends with them. What are you talking about?
But I know, but everybody knows. Anybody who follows basketball is familiar with some of those names, right? Chauncey Billups and
but they're low level. They're low level. They're the bottom of the barrel. Okay. You want the head of the snake. The head of the snake will bring down those criminal organizations. But those criminal organizations have to exist.
But back to your point about
their pockets.
But back to your point about buying and selling, there will always be buying and selling, and it just matters. It matters the honesty behind it. So there's
I agree.
Yeah. So capitalism itself is a tool for evil or good.
Buying, selling, trading, as long as the greed ain't involved, but it's involved, obviously.
I mean, that's human nature.
I mean, that's why Trump's doing all these tariffs and stuff because ain't nothing level playing field.
Right.
So capitalism, that's supposed to be the American dream. You start a business, you produce something, and you live happily ever after if you make enough money. But money don't even bring happiness, Hake.
That's true.
So, yeah, man. And I'm fine with the way things are going right now, even though things are chaotic and Trump is a buffoon. Every day Trump proves to be more and more of a buffoon. I used to like him more back then than I do now. I don't like him at all now.
Why not?
At all. Because he's not as smart as everybody thinks. He just rambles and talks. And I just noticed everybody who's around him, they're afraid of him. And it's almost like he's God or something. And y'all are afraid to criticize him. Y'all afraid to hold him accountable for anything. Like, y'all let this president get away with more than y'all would let any other president get away with.
That's because we trust him. He's proven himself to be pretty trustworthy. It's remarkable. He's meeting with Xi Jinping tomorrow. That's the guy who's been
crazy,
in charge
man.
in China for decades, whereas Trump
He was
only
a
gets
criminal.
4 years here and there. What's that?
He was a criminal,
Xi
right?
Xi Jinping? Not that I'm aware of. He's a communist or something to that effect, which is maybe a criminal-ish. But, you know, the Chinese are very, like, I think it's a pretty dishonest culture because they're so communist, which is to say they rip off American technology and they spy and lie and cheat and money grubbing and stuff like that. You think America's bad in terms of, like, the corruption. China's maybe even worse.
Well, I heard that the Trump family was really invested in the
Bitcoin,
the cryptocurrency.
Crypto, yeah. I've heard that too.
And so that Gene Wing, that guy is like one of the smartest guys about the, in that field.
Could be.
Yeah.
I hadn't heard that.
And Trump's smart enough to get him. Did Trump get him out of jail or something like that?
No, you must be thinking of somebody totally different because Xi Jinping is the president or something of China.
Which person did Trump get out of jail that was he was into that cryptocurrency stuff? Some guy Trump got out of jail.
Possibly so. I don't know.
And I'm just assuming that it was for that reason to help them with their cryptocurrency business.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Trump is taking over the world under our noses.
Nice. So he's not such the buffoon that you're claiming.
Oh no, he's a criminal mind. Don't get me wrong. He's a criminal mind. He knows how to make that kind of money for himself and his family, but he's doing it under the president title. Like he's not for America.
I think he's he's the most pro-America president that we've had. Maybe even more pro-America than Reagan.
I think it's fake. I think it's all fake, though.
He doesn't strike me as fake, man.
That's because he says what y'all want to hear.
But it's not just that, because he says some stuff that I don't really want to hear, and he does some stuff that I don't really care for, but he's just normal and real about it. Okay,
so let me ask you this.
Yeah.
If he pardons Ghislaine Maxwell,
yes,
would that not change your opinion of him?
I would love that. That would be funny.
See, that's what I'm saying. See, you're more of a fan than you are like a genuine weighing this man's character.
Well, the thing is, Ghislaine Maxwell, she helped out Epstein.
She helped out Trump.
Maybe so. I don't know what she did with Trump, but
yeah, you do. Go ahead.
But I don't believe the speculation about all these people in a pedophile ring. I don't believe it.
You know, I was just about to say, you would find it funny for him to release Ghislaine Maxwell.
Yeah, because she was not even supposed to be charged. Go ahead. Sorry.
But you have no interest in getting to the Epstein files and seeing who these corrupt political people are and corrupt celebrities are who were in that whole thing.
Because that's an assumption that there even are anybody in some type of pedophile ring. It's an assumption. People are there's just some women making claims, and women are not necessarily to be believed. You know that.
Well, how's it an assumption when Cash Patel in previous interviews said it was a ring, and also Pam Bondi, who gave out folders with the so-called people on the list to the social media influencers. How is all that just fake?
Cash Patel is a big talker, so he was talking probably without even knowing what the real situation was. Cash Patel, he just jumps to conclusions like everybody else. He's not like a serious person. And then Pam Bondi, she too is kind of a trendy person going along with the trends. I don't trust.
Well, these are Trump's picks.
I know that. Yeah,
and the people you surround yourself with, you share their values.
Right, but Trump is not moved by their these are like lesser values. The bigger values, they're pro-America, they're conservative, they're pro-Trump. So you of course would go with people who are pretty loyal to you and pretty accomplished. Those are two pretty accomplished people, but they still have sloppy minds, you know?
Yeah, but you can be accomplished and evil at the same time.
Yeah.
Which brings me to my last point, because I do have to go.
All right.
I heard Jesse, I don't know if he was talking to you or it was church, I don't know, but y'all say it all the time about how everybody is evil.
Yeah.
And how can everybody be evil but Trump? Like he don't have no flaws or something?
It's
like is he not human?
He overcame evil over the course of his life.
Gracious, Hake. You don't think for yourself, Hake. I thought you thought for yourself, dude.
What?
You don't think for yourself. If you think that man don't have no flaws, man, like you are like
I didn't say that he has
delusional.
No flaws. I just mean that he overcame evil. Like he's not so petty or insecure or driven by fear. Yeah, I don't see him as insecure.
He's very insecure. He's very insecure. And he's a narcissist. Very much.
I think he's the least narcissist person. He's probably in the top. He's in the bottom 3 of the least narcissist people on Earth.
Did you see where they took a picture of him from this angle where his neck was looking all fat, and it was like sticking out of his dress shirt, and he was mad about whoever took the picture? Did you see that? Yeah, you saw it.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, you know what I'm talking about? Okay, well.
But I did see one time where he was mad, like, where's my hair? You had the worst picture of me with my hair seemed like it's almost gone and very thin.
Yes.
So, yeah, I mean, but that's just image, man. It's like...
Yeah, but he's into his image. That's why he lies about his health and stuff, and he gets these perfect scores for health. He's very into himself.
Oh.
He has to lie. You know it, man. You know it.
All right.
Well, I made it to my destination, man.
All right. Well,
think about letting Joe back on, man. Make this show a little better.
I'll have to think of other ways to make it better because I don't think that Joe's coming back on.
You jealous, man. You jealous of Joe. All right.
All right. Take care.
Yep.
Bye. Okay. Before I get back to your calls, let me get back with these super chats, right? All right. You mind? Eric says, hey, did you catch Tucker Carlson say happy wife, happy life in the Nick Fuentes interview? Throw up emoji or barf. I did hear it. I listened to the whole thing. I didn't watch hardly any of it, but I listened to the whole thing. Last 20 minutes, Tucker asked, why aren't people getting married? Then he responded to everything Nick told him with a subjective response. He absorbed 10% of what Nick said and then deflected 90% by applying it to his marriage. A marriage in 1991 to his high school crush that happened before the internet. What a late boomer. Dork. He's Gen X, I think, right, Tucker? It's got to be Gen X. But a Gen X boomer. Wi-Fi equals baby dead emoji. This is reminiscent of something that we talked about earlier. Interesting. Yeah, silly. And popcorn states, thank you, Eric, on Tucker, happy wife mess. Popcorn, why do you constantly make references to people not being for the First Amendment when you yourself have said you are not for the freedom of speech? What's that about? Also, I asked yesterday, but you did not answer. Would you vote for JLP if he ran for president against a liberal white? Why or why not? Lastly, thoughts on various government websites putting up banners blaming Democrats before the shutdown? Here's an example. FNS, USDA, SNAP, supplemental nutrition mess. Senate Democrats have voted 12 times not to fund the food stamps program, also known as SNAP, Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. Bottom line, the well has run dry. At this time, there will be no benefits issued November 1st. Approaching an inflection point for Senate Democrats. They can continue to hold out for health care or illegal aliens and gender mutilation procedures, or reopen the government so mothers, babies, and the most vulnerable among us can receive critical nutrition assistance. Funny. All right, so thank you, Popcorn. That's amusing that the government's doing that. I mean, it's pretty objectively on them, because I think it's just a simple, clean, continuing resolution, and they didn't want to pass it because they're forcing, Obamacare subsidies and mess, which is more free stuff, which is more spending, and how about just open up the government again, I don't know. I'm for the First Amendment. I'm for the spirit of the freedom of speech, but my channel and my thing, I'm not for the freedom of speech in terms of you're not allowed to libel and slander and gossip and defame, even though a lot of you guys get away with it and you come back and all that stuff, mess. I do call it the snake pit, but I'm not for the freedom of speech in that way. I'm for the freedom of speech in terms of the spirit of the freedom of speech, like Trump has, like JLP has, like God has, like the United States is supposed to have. All right, so that's what that is. They're like, oh, free speech platform. These communists try to use freedom of speech against you. Would you vote for JLP? Of course I would. Duh, of course. Oh, and because JLP is for whites and a liberal white is anti-white. And JLP is for America and a liberal white is anti-America. A liberal is anti-America. So JLP is Christian and a liberal is not. What else do you want from me, man? I find that amusing about the government thing. I'm not for food stamps, period, though. Anyway, I have a bunch of supers, thank you, Popcorn, on YouTube, it looks like, or no. Anthony, big grinning sticker, Lin Yan Chin, you have super chat? Here, buy some Little Caesars pizza and help a white baby engineer reach his potential. Thank you. Lin Yan Chin says sense equals nerve, impulse inside the nervous system as stimulated by equilibrium and proprioception, filtering, touch, taste, smell, hearing, I'm spitting, and sight. Emotion is explicit, perhaps, geometry of nerve impulse. Thought comes of layering emotion, he says. So he's saying thoughts come after emotion. And Steven says, happy birthday. Thank you, Steven. Very nice. Appreciate the super chat, sir, guys and gals. Very cool. And I have a minute and a half, it looks like. I got to get to BRANDI in Hawaii over here. BRANDI, thanks for calling and holding. Go ahead.
Hey, morning.
Morning.
I don't have time, I guess, to talk about what I want to call in about, but I wanted to say I think it's funny that everyone is calling Trump a narcissist when Obama is way more of a narcissist
I know.
than Trump ever could be. And sorry, I'm starting to get nervous. But
relax.
I'm losing my train
It's
of thought.
just Hakey.
I know. Also, everyone's complaining about him building this ballroom, but what I'm hearing is that he's paying for it himself out of the money that he should be getting. He's free. He's doing this for free. Everybody keeps forgetting that.
Yeah, and there's other people supporting it too. Yep. And then the history, it's like nominal history. It's fine. Thank you, BRANDI. We'll have to talk again.
Yeah, we don't have time. Yeah, I'll call back tomorrow.
All right, that sounds great.
All right, later.
Take care. And Rick in Hampton, VA, and the rest of the callers and super chatters, I'll have to get to you tomorrow too. Peace in the Middle East, or at least in your hearts. American Anchor Baby coming up next, and then Punchy TV at 2 p.m. Pacific. Take care, everybody. Bye. Nice.